Okay, so what we're going to go through is bear breathing. We're going to go through both the basic and the advanced version of this. Now, in terms of bear breathing and what we're trying to really achieve from this is we're trying to almost reclaim movement through the shoulder blade and release any potential tenacity around this area, but also improve flexion through the spine and almost breathe and get the body breathing. So what I'm going to ask Jake to do is, we can see that he's got his wrists underneath his shoulders, we've got his knees underneath his hips, and what I want him to think about is from this point to this point is just completely round that spine for me. So he's going to think about pushing away from the floor, he's going to think that his hands are almost glued to the floor throughout, and we're just trying to create a real bend. Now from this position, what you can see, Jake gets a lot of bend through his upper back, but not so much through this lower back. So we're going to really try and focus on him flexing through here, and to achieve that, that's one going to come down to the breathing drill that we're going to go through in a second, but we're also going to get Jake to think about almost tucking his tailbone beneath himself. From this position as well, what you will notice is he's pushing away at the armpit, and that's getting this serratus anterior muscle, so this muscle that sits beneath the armpit working, and that is a key player in terms of overall shoulder blade movement and health. Now, from this position, what I'm going to ask Jake to do is I'm going to ask him in a moment to take some real deep inhales through his nose, and he's going to be thinking about expanding the air through this upper back and getting these shoulder blades almost to move around this rib cage and stretching out these rhomboid muscles in the middle here. Once he's taken that breath in and he's expanded that back out, he's then going to be thinking about forcefully exhaling it out of his mouth, and he's going to be thinking about almost crunching in on himself, engaging his abdominals as he does that. So let's just do a couple of deep breaths, Jake. So we're going to breathe in, you can see him pushing away, he's going to hold that position as best as he can now as he's exhaling, and he's going to think about contracting his abs and almost trying to get more bend through this lower back. And again, mate, for me. So take a nice deep breath, that's it. He's pushing away from that floor, he's still trying to reach at this armpit, and he's trying to almost contract these abdominals as he's breathing and exhaling out. Again, what you will see as a bit of a common mistake here is that people will almost allow their shoulder blades to collapse inwards, and we won't get this reach at the armpit. It's really, really important that we do that. Now, I'm going to challenge Jake to do the advanced version here, and I don't think he's ever done the advanced version, so this could be interesting. So what he's going to do is he's going to place his toes down on the ground a little bit, because he's going to actually push off those, and I want him to just bring his knees slightly off of the floor. So if you can do that for me now, Jake, that's it. And what he's going to think about here is he's still going to be thinking about pushing these armpits away, so really push those armpits away for me. Now, before you do anything else, I want you to try and round this spine even more. And you can see this is really, really difficult for him, and perhaps a progression too far at the moment, but we're going to be thinking about pushing away from that floor, and we want to keep that rounded spine and to breathe through still through this region. So relax, mate. So that is obviously a more advanced version, and the thing that Jake was obviously having difficulty there with was getting that rounded spine. Again, we want to be still thinking about pushing away, keeping that, and then breathing through into that upper back, as well as getting a rounded spine from upper back all the way through to lower back.